I did retro, I think it was DVDs a while back on Dragon Ball. I thought I would go even further back. Now, anybody my age, or probably a few years younger, will know that VHS was the dominant format for a good 20 plus years before DVD, Blu-ray, Ultra HD, Blu-ray, and obviously your digital downloads. So things were very, very different, and things were a lot more expensive in some regards, and a lot bulkier. So I thought I would show you some of my collection of the Buffy. These are VHSs, which I got from a shop in the UK in 2005 called The Works. Now, the story there is basically we emigrated to New Zealand in 2005, and these were, it was, I think it was something like $3 or $4.99, between $2.99 and $3.99, and they were getting rid of them. And it was buy one get one free. So I've got the first 6 seasons of this on VHS, and I will show you that as well. I've also got something else. They're, some are limited edition. So the first season 1, the second part of season 2 is limited edition. I have no idea if these are actually worth anything. I wouldn't sell them anyway. And season 3. So, and also I've got 2 box sets of Angel, which I haven't got the collection of that at some point. But this is a really, really good series. Obviously nowadays you'd watch it on digital or DVD. Although I have been told there was at one point in the US there was a widescreen version, or no, it was a high definition version of Buffy, and they absolutely butchered it, which is fascinating. The cases on these are actually pretty decent. I mean, as you can see, yes, and if anyone's ever seen a VHS tape, here it is. Yes, youngsters out there. Now this is a prime example. When you used to watch this, you then have to rewind it. Oh, there's even advertisement for Angel on there. So, see, there's the advertisements for the actual tapes, or VHS, season 6. So the only one I haven't got is season 7. So, yeah, as I was saying before, basically, yeah, you'd have to rewind the tape when you wanted to finish back to the beginning to watch it again. Obviously, VHS, the quality is, it's pretty substandard compared to, say, DVD. But there is a kind of nostalgia about this stuff that is pretty cool. I mean, season 5, personally, my favorite probably season 2 is excellent. Season 3 is absolutely stellar. Season 1 is decent. Season 5 was good. I didn't like season 6 when it first came out. I really disliked it. It was incredibly dark, incredibly depressing to watch, and I hated it at the time. And this would have been I'd have been a teenager. This was about 2003. Obviously now that I'm older, Jesus Christ, I'm aging. I'm 39 next month. Basically, I have much more appreciation of it. I have said this in a previous video as well. For season 6 now, 7 is a very, very interesting season because it kind of goes full circle back to the originals, to the original first season. There's even tiebacks to some of the lines that Giles says at the very beginning of the very last episode. See, that's the only one I haven't got is season 7. I wonder if they're actually out season 7 on VHS, but I have no idea how long these will last, honestly, with VHS. I've been told, obviously, to keep them away from anything like magnetic, because it can erase the actual tapes. But I haven't actually watched these in, must be maybe a decade, maybe longer. I'm not 100% sure. Obviously, the ones that would have got the most use at the time would have been season 1. And see, for me, I had that. I didn't have part 1 of Buffy on VHS. I had just recorded it off, would have been BBC 2 at the time, I think it was. So I had that, had season 3 part 1, didn't have the rest, then I jumped straight to season 5 part 2. So yeah, I mean these are pretty fascinating. It's, you know, it's a blast from the past. Obviously, I know nostalgia is, I don't know, I suppose some people say nostalgia is getting kind of old in some regards, but I have got that somewhere on CD. The Buffy soundtrack is basically all the music from, oh god, what was the club called? Oh, I can't remember what it's called now off the top of my head. The club that they used to all go to after school, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I probably will keep these for most probably the rest of my life. If I still have a VHS, I've got one somewhere that I haven't put a VHS tape in a long, long time. And I also thought I'd show you the Alien collection, with chocolate on it apparently. Lovely. Good. I presume it was chocolate. Charming. So obviously I've got these on Blu-ray, and the Alien series is now out on Ultra HD, but they're like, I think they're like 20 to £25 per movie, which is insane. Now this one might be rare, I'm not really sure, Alien, but this is the director's cut. So obviously there's new footage included in it. I'm not sure. I don't know if I've watched it obviously on the Blu-ray version, which I've got. Where are we? There. But I've not really watched any of them since. I think that's the normal Aliens, the non-director's cut, I think. The two best movies. Although Romulus was pretty decent. I have the black sheep of the family. Alien 3, yeah, it kind of went downhill with that movie in some regards, but it's not a bad. All right, let's be fair with this. It's not a great movie, but the director's cut of it is substantially better. It's never going to be a great movie because you killed two of the main characters, Hicks and Newt, off at the beginning, which is a bit of a travesty when it comes to writing, if you ask me. The bizarre, what I'd like to call black comedy of the franchise, Alien Resurrection, which is a weird film. Although the PS1 game fetches a penny now, because there was, and obviously it's not really tied to VHS and videos in general, but I just thought because it's Alien, the director's cut on the PS1, there's a looks like some sort of exploit within the game, so you can actually hack or you can bypass the securities or something on your PS1. So that price that's gone shooting up. I don't know if I've ever watched. I'm not sure. It looks like I might have done at some point. The tape is further back, but yeah. So so I thought it'd be a blast from the past. I've got some other collections as well. I've got some Xena DVDs that are the US ones, which I presume might be rare by today's standards. I might show them off at some point. I went through quite a in-depth when living in New Zealand, having to buy them. Basically, I'd have to go to Amazon. I'd have to go to the bank, pay my New Zealand dollars. So I'd basically go to Amazon. 2005 this has been. So I would go to Amazon.com because there was no New Zealand one back then, and I would have to take my New Zealand dollars, take it to the bank. I then have to transfer my New Zealand dollars into US dollars at the New Zealand bank. I think it was good God, charming. I think the bank was called ASB. I think it was. I lived in a place called Rotorua in New Zealand, which is, if anyone's up on the Xena Hercules, it's the opening shot in Hercules, the thermal springs point in the intro video. That is Rotorua. That's where I was living for about 2 years. So yeah, go there, transfer my New Zealand dollars into US dollars, pay the changeover fee for it and stuff, and then I would then send it in a check, give it to the bank. then I think they would send it off, and then I'd have to wait 2 to 4 weeks, and that would be my, and then I'd get my Xena box sets and stuff like that. So, yeah, things were a little bit different in those days. One of the pros and cons of living in being born in the analog world, and then transitioning to the, Jesus Christ, transitioning, Christ, it's always trans. Sorry, got out myself. To the digital world. So yeah, so fascinating times, cool times, different times as well compared to nowadays. Things are a lot more simple now. And there is something to say about physical media. I understand, it's not convenient anymore for some people. It isn't convenient for me, really, if I'm honest with myself. But it's just, these aren't great quality when you load them over. You get a lot of static on the compared to a DVD image nowadays. But I don't know. There's something about physical media that is still cool to this day. This one's a bit. I'd seen better days, banged up a bit. But I like this old stuff. It's just cool. But anyway, I think I've gone on the nostalgia trip for about the 13th, 100th time at this point. But I will do the Xena ones and the Hercules ones. I've also got a substantial Stargate SG-1 collection, which is all different regions from where I was living at the time, again in New Zealand. I've got Region 1, Region 4, Region 1, Region 2, and the US, the box sets generally were better. I've got Smallville season 3. The American box set is a lot bigger, it's a lot chunkier, it's just more, and the same with the Xena and Hercules stuff. Literally, there is no special features on the UK, or there wasn't on the UK editions of Xena and Hercules. It's only on the American stuff for some bizarre reason. I don't know why that is at the time. But I will show them off at some point because they're really, really cool. And again, they're all Region 1, so I couldn't watch them. I had to get a Region 3 DVD player in New Zealand from and shout out to anyone from New Zealand, from was it Harvey Norman? I think it might have been. But I got most of my SG-1 DVDs from The Warehouse, which I think the tagline was where everyone gets a bargain. So yeah, so shout out to New Zealand. I worked at a supermarket there called Pack and Save when I was in my early 20s. God, I feel so old. Anyway, I will leave it there, and I hope this has been informative and reasonably enjoyable. I will do more of these. I've still got some video game stuff to do, but I'm putting back. There's a few bits I'm looking at on eBay for video games, but at the moment, I've got Pokemon Alpha Sapphire coming on 3DS. So my collection is growing on the old 3DS side. But anyway, I'm rambling on, and I'm going to leave it there, and thanks for the time.